All right, man. Early morning with it. You know, Chris Algieri says a loss to Terence Crawford for Canelo could damage Canelo Alvarez's career. It's a win-win for Terence Crawford. And a lose-lose for Canelo. And, at the end of the day, Canelo could have put himself in a better situation by fighting David Benavidez. That's the crazy thing about it. He could have put himself in a better situation by fighting David Benavidez, and he didn't. So think about that for a minute. He could have fought David and been done with it. People would have been like, hey, if he lost to David, so be it. He was old, and if he beat David, it would have helped his career out. Now, is it a win-win for Crawford? No, because Crawford went in there and criticized Jamil Charlo for not trying. And if he go in there and people get an inkling of him quitting, it also can destroy his legacy. You know what I'm saying? So people look at it at, he ain't got much to lose. He got everything to gain. In this social media era, if he go in there and get knocked out, you never want to be on the end of getting knocked out. And they always give him a hard time about what his accomplishments. So people really praying that he get knocked out. People praying that he lose. So they can be like, well, I told you Terence Crawford wasn't that good to begin with. That's what they want to say. I told you that Terence Crawford wasn't that good to begin with. That's pretty much what you're going to hear. So he does have, but for Canelo, he put himself in this position. He chose the man. He chose the money. He didn't want to rematch Bivol, didn't want to fight Better BF, didn't want to fight David Benavidez. This is where he want to fight. He probably believed that, hey man, nobody gonna come up 2 weight classes and beat me. On the game, he could struggle or lose to another black fighter as well too. That also could be the case. But yeah, you got a guy coming up 2 weight classes. The conventional wisdom is you should destroy him. And, people are picking Bud. It could be a black thing, or it could be a fandom thing, or, people think he can win. But in reality, Canelo should be quite a huge favorite. A guy coming off a year of inactivity, which in a year he was building his body up. In a year he was building his body up for this situation. It was pretty smart. It ain't like he ain't been in the gym, and ain't like they ain't been plotting on this fight. They've been doing things and testing and seeing how the body feels, sparring against bigger guys. Seem like they're going to have a good game plan in there. Some people believe that he may stick and move. Some people believe he may get hit and start flailing around the ring. Some people think, like Gabriel Rosado, who said he on a do or die mission, that he going to be right there in Canelo's face like Floyd Mayweather and really, do the unexpected. But come September 13th, we won't know. But if he do win, there'll be still people with Crawford who want to take away from the greatness. We know that. No matter what he does, people gonna hate. And then when he, retires and goes into a Hall of Fame, they're gonna act like they were fans. What was that song? There's been money around me, look like I'm the man. He say, You just a fan. You know, a lot of dudes gonna be a fan. But yeah, it kind of seems like, you know, Canelo's in a position not to really gain much here. That's what it seems like. He in the position not to gain much. You know, but he gonna gain a whole bunch of money. He this is what he chose to do. But Crawford can lose things too. The backlash on the internet, his physically, he can get some years knocked off his life. But you know, and this is just in some people's mind, this is just going to be a cherry on top that he was never that good. Even though it's, you know, a lot of guys, you know, it's hard to make that jump, and a lot of guys believe, fighting, building up to it. He should have took a fight at 60 or 68, and then you have some people that believe you should just raw dog it. Go straight up there. Don't take no damage. You know, do what John Jones did. Build your body a year, then go up to the next. He did heavyweight, this super middleweight. Some people believe that. You know, that's what some people believe, and that's what Crawford going by. You know, and people compare it to the Mayweather performance. You already know that's going to be the deal. People going to compare it to Mayweather. You know, Mayweather kind of brought Canelo down a couple pounds. He going all the way up. Why? He didn't have the leverage to make Canelo do anything because Canelo didn't want to do nothing. And they know that the powers that be is going to kiss Canelo's ass. They're going to kiss his ass. They're going to kiss his ass. And they're going to make a fight for him, whether it's, you know, the Skull fight or the Ryder fight. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna make an opportunity for him. It's not gonna be like, oh, you gotta fight Crawford or nothing. No, he can fight who he wants to. As the Alchemist song, we can walk wherever he wants to. We can walk wherever he wants to. And that's just pretty much what it is. That's pretty much what it is. So, but but yeah, man. I mean, it's gonna be interesting in my opinion. Very interesting. So, but you know, like I said, it ain't a lose. You always got something to lose. You know, when they don't like you, publicity, health, your reputation. One night, one bad night, or one bad course of action, you know, can destroy everything years, decades of what you built. You know, it could be one wrong thing. We seen people, you know, are usually even seen as good people, and in the heat of the battle, they use a racist term, and now they deem racist for the rest of their life. We seen people be philanthropists and, you know, give, and all they do is give, and they have one bad moment of judgment. You know what I'm saying? At a bar, or and people hold that against them, and people act like they're mortified, like they ain't never done nothing wrong, like they ain't never made no mistakes, like they ain't never used a particular word, like they ain't never raised a hand, like they ain't never punched nobody. Some things are inexcusable, but you got to remember, you could do a lot of great things, you could do a lot of building throughout your career or throughout your lifetime. But one mistake, not even a mistake, one accusation can destroy everything that you built. That's the sad thing about it. One accusation can destroy everything that you built. That's the wild thing about it. One accusation can destroy everything that you built. So that's the wild thing about it. You got to remember that. So it's never really a lose, or it's never you got nothing to it's a win. Not in this game, but we'll see. The time's coming closer to them getting in the ring. But really, you know, Canelo, yeah, he ain't just a lose for him. He got something to gain. He got a lot of money to gain in this situation. He got a lot of money to gain, so don't let them fool you like that. But as far as reputation, I mean, he chose it. He chose this path. So it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out the Box Moves playlist at the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Appreciate y'all. Hit the link tree, join the Patreon. Find me on X, Instagram, the whole nine. Appreciate y'all. Peace.